Hello, I'm Darren King with Clements & Keene Insurance. Have you found yourself without health insurance, maybe because of a life-changing event such as losing a job, getting married, or maybe the birth of a new child? Traditionally, the open enrollment period is November and December, but if you've had this life-changing event anytime during the year, you can qualify to apply for health insurance. Give us a call, Clements & Keene Insurance, your health insurance specialist, 272-8019.
Welcome everybody. We are here at the Dublin Country Club today getting ready for our annual speech contest, and I have with me Ted Short, who oversaw this for about 10 years. And Ted, this is one event I will not let anybody else come to. I always have to come to this speech contest because, first of all, I love coming and hearing these young people and what they do. Not only do they represent their schools well, they represent our community well, don't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The speech contest actually started in 1997, and it was an idea of Preston Johnson. Preston Johnson had been a long-term club member of the Rotary Club and served as president of our local Rotary Club, and also was a district governor of our Rotary Club. And it was his idea. He wanted to come up with a project that involved the schools, the students, and the Rotary Club, a project that would stimulate research and giving speeches, and develop our high school students and give them a little bit of practice before they get into college of competing in a speech research type project. And the theme, we have two themes that go along with each speech contest, either our four-way test in Rotary or the Rotary International President's theme for that year. So each speech is based on one of those two themes, and the students have 4 minutes plus or minus to give those speeches, and each student that gives it in the local Rotary Club goes on to zone competitions. Our top two finishers in each club go to the zone competition, and they compete at that level, and whatever students wins their particular zone, and in our Rotary district there's 3 zones, there's a winner from each district. Each zone goes to the district convention at the end of April, and they are presented an award from the district convention. So not only does it stimulate the students and research and giving speeches and researching their subject, it also gives them a scholarship along the way. They get a scholarship money at the local club, at the zone competition, and at the district conference.
That's wonderful. I didn't realize what you said, 97, 23 years, 23 years that we've been doing this in the Dublin Rotary Club.
And you know what we're very pleased about is, Preston passed away a few years ago, and when he passed away, our Rotary district named the speech contest after him. So now it's the Preston Johnson Speech Contest.
Yeah, and very fitting. Mr. Johnson was a dear friend of both of ours and a friend of this community. But and not only this, he did wonderful things in our community, and we miss him greatly. There's no doubt. One thing I want to talk about, 10 years ago, we had a speech contest, obviously, and Rachel Frederick won. Y'all are looking at Rachel's picture on the screen there, and a much younger James Deal. Somebody said to me the other day, they saw it on Facebook, they said, "James, you look young." I said, "I'm still young, but young at heart, I'll put it that way." But Rachel won 10 years ago this year. The Rotary contest was actually a week ago, 10 years ago, but Rachel had a long battle with cancer. She is the daughter of Jane and Bobo Frederick, and they've been a part of this community for many years. Jane worked for Bank of Dudley for, I'd say, 30, 35 years, I guess. But Rachel won that year, and she passed on from cancer. She had a long battle with cancer, but we didn't know that at this speech contest. And, you know, one thing, Ted, I want to say is we never know what's out there, do we?
We don't. We never know what the next day brings.
Yeah.
So we got to live each life to the fullest each day.
Amen. And I can honestly say I do that. I hadn't always done that, but in your background being in healthcare, you saw a lot of things happen. You know, people coming through Fairview Park Hospital, and we just don't know. You don't have to be an older person like us, I guess. You know, it don't matter what age you are. We just don't know. But we can honestly say that Rachel, the things she accomplished in her short lifetime, she made quite an impression on this community and across the state.
Touched many people.
Yeah, many people. But, and I thought about that today as I watched these young people participate, the impact that they can have in the future, and they are our future.
Absolutely. And this is part of their preparation to be
Yes.
leaders of the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to thank, I know you don't do it anymore, but you're still a Rotarian. And I want to thank y'all as far as the Rotary Club for continuing to do this and naming it after Mr. Preston Johnson. I think that was just a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. But before we go to our next step, we're about to start the speeches, so we got to hurry and take a commercial break. But why do you like being a Rotarian?
Because it's service to the community and service internationally. You know, Rotary is very involved in eradicating polio worldwide, and also to helping people in need of clean water or medical care or supplies or what have you in disasters also. So it's a way of reaching out and touching beyond just here in Dublin, touching the world, touching our local community through various projects, and we try and concentrate particularly on youth and things that we can do to develop our youth for the future.
That's right. And when you put, and Helen Keller said it one time, that we can all do a little. And, you know, once we all put our little in, you know, it makes a lot.
Exactly.
And I'll never forget that quote by her. But and that's the thing about Rotary. Y'all can all, each member at each club throughout everywhere in the United States can put their little in. And people will never meet, will we, but have clean drinking water because of Rotarians. And,
Absolutely.
People digging wells and giving clean water, and it's something we really take for granted.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank y'all for doing this. I appreciate you sitting down and talking to me, Ted.
Absolutely.
And,
thank you.
We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back and get this contest kicked off. You're going to love these students. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Dublin Nissan might be the best kept secret in Middle Georgia.
And we have state-of-the-art technicians like John Lowry, who's been with us for over 36 years.
The Titan, one tough truck.
I'm Henrietta Williams here at Dublin Nissan. I've been here for 25 years. For your best deal in town, come see me.
Save gas and money with a Sentra.
We live here and we work here, and we love to give back to Heart of Georgia United Way.
Dublin Nissan, the only dealer you will ever need.
Take a moment, if you will, to imagine something. You apply for a very professional, high-skilled job, such as a lawyer or a physician. But in the scenario, also imagine that there's a difference that makes you stand out from the rest of the applicants. Maybe it's because of your race, your gender, or you might have a disability. You go in for the interview so certain that you have all the qualifications that the employer is looking for. You've gone to college, you have a degree, and you are so confident that you will get the job. But a few days later, you get an email saying thank you for applying. Now, statistics show that diversity in the workplace increases profit and success, but employers still manage to look for that certain group of individuals that keep the workplace similar and alike, do they not? Careers are more stratified by race, religion, and gender more than you've imagined. Inequality is something that's been ignored for years, and we often use stereotypes and being biased to disguise the acts of discrimination. We often blindly terrorize people every day by making jokes or going so far as to harass someone. Let's put this topic to Rotary's four-way test. Is it the truth? Truth can be defined as that of which is in accordance with fact or reality. Reality is, me and you categorize people every day, at school, at work, maybe even out in public. Maybe we don't mean it. Maybe we mask it as a joke or say, I'm just kidding afterwards. So is it the truth? One would be mindless if they answered with no. What about this? Is it fair to all concerned? In this generation, being different is considered normal. So why do we still discriminate? But it's because most don't think for themselves and they hop on the next bandwagon. Because of ignorant people, they make all the others think that they are just like them. If one white policeman beats a colored person, they're all the same, right? No. So it is not fair to anyone concerned. This leads to our third question. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Does bullying, unkindness, and unfairness give the impression of goodwill to you? Wayne Dyer once said, "See the light in others and treat them as if that is all you see. If we continue to see the darkness for everything, society will always be a cruel place to live in." Don't do or say something that has a chance of ruining your humanity or your friendships with others. Lastly is our fourth question. Will it be beneficial to all concerned? In situations, you mustn't always think of yourself. Acknowledge others' thoughts and feelings as well. What you say or do could change someone. It could hurt them. So we must always look towards benefiting others. Of course, think of yourself, but not just yourself. So in this particular issue, no, it is not beneficial to all concerned. Clearly, no one is benefited. If hatred gives one satisfaction, then they are oblivious to exactly how far kindness can take someone and can guide them through life. Open your eyes. Equality needs to become normalized in society, not be something we can brag about when we actually treat someone with respect, because it is a rare experience. People that are judged so easily for mere things such as skin color, gender, religion, can have equal opportunities and equal rights just as me and you. Before you say or do something that could ruin your benevolence, your friendships, think about Rotary's 4-way test. Character has no variance, and this test just proved this fact.
Hey everybody, I have with me Emily Taylor from East Lawrence High School. I got a Falcon sitting here. Tell me what made you enter this competition.
Well, my teacher chose me for this competition. I think it's because of my potential and of all the stuff I do at school and I'm involved with, and I felt like it was a great opportunity to give this speech.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 10th.
And what other activities you're involved in at East Lawrence?
I'm a varsity tennis player. I play first doubles, and I'm in like a bunch of clubs like FBLA, I'm in FFA, I'm a Beta Club member, I'm in TSA, and I'm a skills member, and I'm also in One Act.
And I want to focus on the skills member. How important has that been in helping you in high school?
It's been very important because it teaches you real life and real world situations and prepares you for the work world that I'm going to be involved in very soon.
What would you say to underclassmen, children coming up from middle school? What's the biggest change since you're in the 10th grade? It hadn't been that long since you moved into high school, but when you went from 8th to 9th, what was the biggest wow factor?
The biggest change had to be the amount of freedom that we get, because like in middle school it was so strict, and now when we moved up to high school we have so much freedom now.
And what do you plan to do after high school?
I plan to go to UGA and major in psychology and have a minor in creative writing.
Okay, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Portions of this program are brought to you by CurePoint Cancer Treatment, 2406 Bellevue Road in Dublin. At CurePoint Cancer Treatment, we're bringing you state-of-the-art cancer treatment right here at home. CurePoint Cancer Treatment. Check us out on Facebook.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future? That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
Rotary has done so much to unite the world through service projects, literacy programs, disaster relief, scholarships, and exchange student programs. Locally, the Dublin Rotary Club has been working tirelessly to meet the needs of its community and to serve citizens all around the world. Founded in 1938 by Dublin's economic leaders, the Dublin Rotary Club has engaged in many community projects, such as Polio Plus fundraiser, Leroy Playground for disabled children, hurricane disaster relief, and many programs that have been beneficial for students. Nelson Mandela once said, "Children are 1/3 of our population, but 100% of our future." One of the countless ways that Rotary unites us all is by empowering children through exchange student programs and scholarships. Some of the wonderful citizens we have today started out being helped by Rotary get the education and experience they needed to succeed. Dave Revstein was entering his senior year at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. As a history major with good grades and in an LSAT review course, he was planning to go to law school, but he was not excited about it. The professor set up a lunch meeting with Dave to talk about future career aspirations. The professor learned through a series of questions that Dave wanted to study abroad, but did not want to miss a year on campus. The professor told Dave he could still qualify for a Rotary Foundation Ambassadorial Scholarship. This was an incredible opportunity for Dave. He spent his scholarship year in Dublin, Ireland, and spent time dedicated to his host country and the Rotary clubs within it. He saw a way of life that was completely different from the one he was accustomed to. He learned in Ireland that the love of sports unites us all. He realized his true passion of being a sportscaster. Because of Rotary, Dave is an anchorman for ESPN News and has made a career out of his passion. Rotary has done so much to connect us all, not just in America, but around the world. Jure Mebamba grew up in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where violence is an everyday part of his life. When he was just 9 years old, his family was forced to flee. They moved to South Africa, a country and a culture completely foreign to them. Of the people that showed them kindness, most of them were Rotarians. At this time, Jure's family knew nothing about Rotary. In 2007, Rotary exchange students from around the globe came to Jure's school for their year abroad. It was through these students that Jure learned what Rotary was really all about. These students of different races and ethnicities taught Jure the importance of fellowship and what it means to serve others. After graduating high school, he became a Rotary exchange student and came to Duluth, Minnesota for his year abroad. After his year abroad, he returned to South Africa and joined the Rotaract Club in the South African city of Durban-Beret. He continued working with people his age and further developed his leadership skills. After graduating college, he returned to Duluth, Minnesota to work with other Rotarians and found the Rotaract Club in Duluth, Minnesota. His goal is to form a group of vibrant and dynamic individuals who love to serve their community, a group that does not discriminate based on race, gender, and nationality. When you take a look at Dave and Jure's lives, you can see how Rotary has completely changed them for the better. Students from around the globe have impacted others they would have not have met otherwise. It is this service that Rotary performs for the youth that unites us all. Lifelong friendships have been built and communities have been strengthened through Rotary. Rotary unites the world.
We're here today at the Dublin Rotary Club. This is an event we really get excited about every year. And first of all, I have with me Joseph Branch. Joseph, you're homeschooled.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell our viewers a little bit about you.
I'm a freshman. I do a co-op called Classical Conversations with several other students once a week. I shoot archery competitively, and something I enjoy in my free time is I actually do a little bit of stand-up comedy. So.
Okay. You did an excellent job. You did a very, very good job. So I got to ask you about archery. What got you involved in archery?
Well, I'm not a big endurance person, and for archery, you pretty much just stand there. It's more of like a skill than just,
Yes.
jumping high or something. So it was something I could learn, and it wasn't, I don't know. It was just fun. I tried it once, and I really enjoyed it, and I've just been doing it for 6 years.
So what, you had a friend was in archery?
I think we were just, I was in 4th grade, I think, and I was just kind of looking for a sport, and I think we just kind of stumbled on archery, and I've done it for a long time now. So.
How long did it take you to prepare for your speech today?
I think I started preparing about the first week of January, and it's just been a slow process. And I had to compete in my own school to get here, but it was good.
And tell me about your preparation. What, do you stand in front of the mirror? You use your mom and dad? Tell me about that.
Well, they didn't help me a lot until I had it fully memorized. They helped with writing, but once I was trying to memorize it, I fully memorized it, and then I did it, and then, you know, anything I needed to fix or something, they helped me, and I did it in front of them.
And what do you think about Rotary?
I hadn't actually heard of it before now, but now I know that it's a great organization, and I'm glad I know about it now.
Okay, good. Congratulations.
With Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, I can get auto, home, life, even banking all in one place. Pretty convenient if you ask me.
Always the home team, Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Visit us online at gfbinsurance.com.
In 1976, the Rotary International Board of Directors created an exact definition for Rotary, which states, Rotary is an organization of business and professional persons united worldwide who provide humanitarian service, promote high ethical standards in all vocations, and help build goodwill and peace in the world. Rotary is based on connections. Through several projects and programs, Rotary is connected to those who hope to see a better world and share similar goals for our futures. Rotary Club is working to improve standards of living for all people, make personal sacrifices to empower others, and promote peace in all situations. Rotary focuses on 6 different avenues to make our world a better place. These 6 avenues promote peace, fight disease, grow local economies, save mothers and children, provide clean water, hygiene and sanitation, and support education. Because I have personally witnessed the ill effects of school retention rates, I believe education is very important. Lack of education leads to many lifelong disadvantages, including poverty, exploitation, unemployment, loss of voice, and many more. 17% of adults are illiterate, which means that over 755 million adults over the age of 15 do not know how to read or write. Rotary sees how detrimental illiteracy is to the community as a whole and works to provide basic education and literacy in these communities. Rotary provides teacher training, scholarships, education for refugees, and community literacy programs to inspire learning for all people. As a person who values education, I have personally witnessed the multiple opportunities and confidence education brings. Without education, I would not have the ability to stand here before you today. Without education, I would not have the tools or resources needed to achieve my goals and my dreams. Illiteracy creates a barrier. When a person is illiterate, they are isolated and they cannot comprehend nor express their thoughts, ideas, or emotions. Rotary bridges this barrier by promoting education, because promoting education allows the student the opportunity to comprehend and express their thoughts and ideas. I first became aware of this barrier when I was in middle school. A student in my class was constantly bullied simply because he wore the same clothing each week. Soon, he developed a habit of missing school until eventually he stopped coming entirely. Although I'll never know exactly why he stopped coming to school, I can't help but wonder if the bullying was the main reason. Over time, I've grown to realize that the constant bullying probably made school unbearable for him. I often think back to this student and I wonder where he is and what his life is like now. But I also can't stop myself from wondering what his life could have been like if I had intervened on his behalf. Students living in poverty experience many hardships when trying to receive an education. Low-income students struggle to obtain basic school supplies that are needed in the classroom. Oftentimes, this leads to teachers purchasing school supplies for their classrooms without reimbursement. Also, students living in poverty often lack many hygiene and personal care items that are needed when attending school. Rotary could provide these basic supplies by providing low-income families with small bags of basic school supplies, hygiene, and personal care items. Providing these items would inspire students to value and focus on education while connecting them to greater opportunities through receiving an education. Also, this would show students that they are important and that somebody cares about their future. This project would connect the community as a whole with the common goal of supporting education and empowering others. With Rotary, we see connection. We see change. We see ideas followed by actions. But most importantly, we see a better future for our world. Thank you.
Now have with me Lillian Lord. She goes to Trinity Christian School, where Mr. Stan Cooey is the headmaster. You recognized him a little while ago. Tell me about the preparation of your speech.
Well, in January, I wrote my speech and I got it all together and I presented it for my teachers at school as a competition there. And so I got chosen to go to the next level, and me and my English teacher have been working since then to critique the essay and critique how I speak it. So I've been working really hard since January.
Good. And what made you enter this competition?
Well, I realized that there were so many different things that Rotary does, but I also realized that people kind of take for granted how awesome it is that we're able to get an education. And I know that I've always just kind of thought that it was just something everybody did and everybody was able to achieve, but there's so many people who don't have that opportunity, and so I wanted to speak out on that, and that's what I chose to do.
Wonderful. What other activities are you involved in at Trinity?
Well, right now I'm a part of the Chick-fil-A Leader Academy, which is the main thing I'm doing, and we've been working to not just learn how to be a leader, but to make an impact with that action. That's actually the logo, impact through action. And so we actually recently just scheduled a community basketball event where different youth pastor teams, coach teams, students all around the community competed and to raise money, and children's books. The admission to the game was children's book, and so we got to donate those to different reading facilities around Dublin, and now we're planning a color run to raise money for those different facilities that we donated to earlier this year.
Do you work at Chick-fil-A?
No, I don't actually.
So tell me, I've not heard of this particular program. How does that work? How do you get involved in this Chick-fil-A program?
Well, this year was actually the first time they did it, so it was kind of a trial run, and they're thinking about maybe opening it to other schools. This was just kind of a starting thing. And so basically, we just applied at school for it, and we did an interview process, and I got in, and I noticed, I kind of felt like it was just going to be like any other leader advisory thing that I had done, but we actually have got to do a lot of action and stuff like that, so I'm learning how to take my skills and put them out to other people and working as a team. And so it's definitely one of the best counselors that has taught me that just because I'm young, I can do so much, because our group together has accomplished so much already, and we're working to continue that, so it's really fun.
Do you eat at Chick-fil-A much?
I do a lot actually. I'm a big supporter.
That was an easy question right there, because a lot
Didn't
of people...
have to think about it.
Yeah, because usually when we go in around lunch, that line's around 3 times, or I'm probably exaggerating. But
no, you're definitely not exaggerating.
But congratulations. We wish you the best in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Rotary Club. The first sailboat sailed in 3100 BC. The first railroad systems were built in 1830. The telegraph was built in the 1840s. The first power lines were first sparked in 1889. And Wi-Fi, everyone's favorite thing, was first generated in 1998. All of these technological advances were created to connect people in the world locally, nationally, and globally. They allowed for the sharing of knowledge, perspective, and wealth across the world. But to what extent did these advances actually connect the world for the welfare of the people? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Through our technological and scientific genius, we have made of this world a neighborhood, and yet we have not had the ethical commitment to make of it a brotherhood. But somehow, in some way, we have got to do it. This is the way God's universe was made. This is the structure of it." End quote. Dr. King was encouraging the world to look beyond themselves when making connections, meaning establishing connections not for money, power, or personal pleasures, but establishing connections to improve our local and global communities. The Rotary Club, founded in 1905 by Paul P. Harrison, set the standards for these ethical commitment connections worldwide. Our very own Dublin-Lawrence County Rotary Club, founded in 1938, upholds these standards through promotion of education, building foundations for the improvement of lifestyles, and allowing for fellowship. Our Rotary Club connects youth to education by promoting literacy programs Our Rotary Club promotes education through hosting literacy programs such as First Readers, providing scholarships such as the David Hilburn Scholarship, nominating Students of the Quarter, and providing school supplies for students. Locally and globally, our Rotary chapter connects members of societies to improve lifestyles. The Dublin-Lawrence County Rotary chapter has developed water wells in Malawi, built a Leroy playground for disabled children, continues contributing to the Polio Plus fundraiser, as well as continues contributing to the Polio Plus fundraiser, as well as providing disaster relief abroad. Last but not least, our Rotary chapter allows connection through fellowship. This past summer, I was able to represent our Rotary Club in the Rotary Youth Leadership Award Camp Program. Over the course of this program, I was able to connect with other teams in our district, attend very profound workshops, and enjoy team building exercises that taught the principles of Rotary: friendship, teamwork, fairness, and of course, fun. I was also connected to very, very great food. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 through 25 says, And let us continue connecting each other to love. Let us continue pressing each other towards love and good deeds, not taking in vain, meeting together as some have the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. God sees the love and happiness that Rotary spreads, and I believe that as that day approaches, He will be proud of the discipleship and humility that its members exhibit. Thank you all for this opportunity, and thank you for what you have done for our community and world. Thank you.
I have with me Taylor Maynard now. She's from Dublin High School, a senior there. And one thing I want to know is, when you heard about this contest, did you jump right in, or did you think about it? Tell me about it.
When I first heard about this contest, it was from my International Baccalaureate coordinator. And last year, we had a school contest to see who would go on to be the one to present today. So I came in second place with that last year. So this year, I came in first and I was chosen to come here. It was a different experience though. I was very nervous about the experience. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job, and to be not only in front of this group of people, but all you watching on television today, you know, added that little extra pressure to it. But all of y'all did a wonderful job. There's no doubt. Just the fact you got up here and did it was wonderful. What do you plan on doing after high school?
After high school, I plan on attending Georgia State University and majoring in biology, continuing my education to become a pediatrician.
Okay. Well, boy, what a wonderful field. Being in the healthcare field, you never run out of business, will you?
Yes, sir.
What are you going to miss? You're graduating this year. What are you going to miss most about Dublin High School?
I'm going to miss the people there, the staff and other students. We're all like one big happy family, and it's just such a warm environment.
And being an international baccalaureate, first of all, you're in a tough field of study.
Yes, sir.
So do you have time for any other activities?
Yes, sir. I'm actually a very, very busy person. I'm a part of the tennis team. I'm in band. I dance, and I also teach dance. I'm a part of the teen court, youth NAACP, and I'm probably forgetting something, but
well, that's a list. That's a list of things to do,
yes,
plus
sir.
all your studies and homework and things.
Yes, sir.
I asked one of the other students, but because I saw it in her, and I want to ask you this: do you think, based on your speech and the way you come across, would you possibly think anything in the political arena would be in your future?
I've actually have considered that because I enjoy being a part of teen court, and I'm a prosecutor, and I also like watching politics with my mother, and we often discuss them. So I don't know if it's something I would pursue, but I have considered it.
Do you ever yell at the TV like me? When you're watching some of these talking heads out
Yes,
here
sir.
to try to tell us what we think, huh?
Yes, sir, sometimes.
Well, you did a wonderful job. You represented not only Dublin High School well, but you represented our community well, and I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
It can be tough deciding what kind of vehicle you should buy.
But here at Dublin Ford Lincoln, we make it easy for anyone to find their perfect ride.
Perhaps your family is growing and you need some room for your next expedition. Or maybe you've heard about the all-new Explorer and you've just got to have one.
You may have a lot of work to do and need a tough truck to help get it done. Or maybe you're just always in a hurry and need to go faster. Others call you customers?
We call you friends.
That's Dublin Ford Lincoln.
About 44 million people in this country have no health insurance, and another 38 million have inadequate health insurance. This means that nearly a third of Americans face each day without the security of knowing that if and when they need it, medical care will be available to them and their families. So what makes the healthcare crisis such a pressing issue? By putting the healthcare crisis to the Rotary International's four-way test, we can not only understand the true nature of this problem, but we can work together to create a more viable solution for mothers and children around the world. Is it the truth? An estimated 5.9 million children under the age of 5 die each year because of inadequate health care. Their deaths can be prevented, and that's the unavoidable truth. Rotarians offer high-quality health care to women and children everywhere so that they can have the same opportunities to a healthy future. Rotarians achieve this by offering educational opportunities as well as mobile clinics to women and children around the world. Is it fair to all concerned? Is it fair that the wealthy get the best health care but need the least financial assistance, while the poor often have greater health needs but receive the least financial assistance? Rotary International believes that the need for quality health care can never be overemphasized. Health care should be for everyone, for the underserved, for the underprivileged, for those in remote areas, not just the wealthy. This is especially true for women in impoverished areas who rely on the generosity of groups like Rotary to protect themselves and their children from disease and malnutrition. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? We, the people, cannot agree on what's unfair about our own healthcare system. We often cannot agree because we are separated by competing political philosophies and value structures. How can we heal our sick healthcare system when we distrust our government and fear each other's motives? But we can agree that despite competing political philosophies and values, that Rotary's mission to teach women how to protect themselves and their children bridges the gap between party lines and creates an opportunity for women and children everywhere to connect through their shared concern for the goodwill of others. Now, the fourth and final question: will it be beneficial to all concerned? By providing women and children with quality health care, we are eliminating the spread of disease. We are lowering, if not eradicating, the nonsensical mortality rate for children under 5. By providing health care to these groups, we are teaching them how to not only take care of themselves, but their children. This is a gift of life for these women and children, a life free from disease and premature death. So beyond a shadow of doubt, Rotary International's healthcare initiatives are beneficial to us all. So, what makes the healthcare crisis such a pressing issue? Numbers. Rotarians around the world realize that the number of people who have poor healthcare affects us all. As parents, sons, and daughters, we understand and sympathize with those who have lost children to tragedy. But we simply cannot, nor will we ever understand the senseless death of women and children when we have the power to stop it. Thank you.
I have with me now Yakini Martin from West Lawrence High School, and you won today. How about that?
I'm still shocked.
Yes, it was wonderful though. You did a great job when you stepped up. You immediately took charge. You had confidence. Tell me about the preparation.
It took me about a good week to prepare for the speech and write it, and it took me about another week to memorize it. I mean, us not having school majority of the week really helped out a lot. So.
Yeah. So the good Lord actually helped you, huh?
Yes, He did.
Yeah, being out of school the week that we're doing this speech contest, but this has been going on for a long time. When you first heard about it, did you hear about what your counselor mentioned it to you or what? And did you immediately say, I'll do it, or did you say, no, not really? What was your reaction?
I've always been one that's up for a challenge, so I was like, yeah, let's take it on.
Okay, and now tell us what else you do out at West Lawrence High School.
I am Secretary of Skills USA. I am junior class president from Student Council. I play a ton of sports, and I'm in a bunch of clubs too. I don't want to keep you here all day, so we'll put it that way.
So how do you balance all that?
It's really, I wouldn't say difficult, but it is a challenge. But with my parents and my teachers and my coaches, they help me balance everything pretty well. So it's a big thanks to them.
What's your favorite sport?
Definitely track.
Track. You look fast. You look fast. You went up fast. You took charge, like I said a while ago. But now, who's your favorite teacher? I hate to ask that question, but I know you have a favorite.
I love all my teachers equally,
right.
But I definitely think Miss Ann Hodge, my chemistry teacher, she's a good one.
What's the most difficult class you take?
Definitely chemistry.
Back to chemistry.
Yeah.
That's why she's probably the favorite teacher. You may need a little more help with that. But and I asked this for a reason because the way you answered my question about the teacher. So is politics in your future?
It's definitely a big consideration. A lot of people have told me that maybe you should consider it, and as I'm getting close to the graduation, I'm thinking maybe I should go this route.
Yeah, well, and I say that because we need young people like you, like these other participants today, and I know you'd be the first to say how good everybody did today.
Yes.
Everybody did a wonderful job, so to win it is quite a feat. And we didn't film all this part, but the judges stayed out forever. It took, we're here late in we're usually gone home by now, but it took them a long time, so that tells, how tough it was on the judges. But you did a wonderful job. We want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
And we wish you the very best in the future.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And our winner of our $500 scholarship is Yakini Martin. Congratulations.